Okay, taking a look back at the main event of New Year's Smash Night 2. All I'm wondering is the man himself going to show up? You know, he's been backing up Darby week after week, pretty much. This was a brutal match.
Darby celebrated his 28th birthday a week ago tonight.
Yeah, and I hope he had a horrible birthday.
Yeah, tough guy Taz. But I'm still gonna act like commentator with all of the insights. Like when Brian Cage caught Darby Allin outside at one point, gets him into a suplex. He goes, "Oh, look at the extension and the thing." He's all being scientific instead of going, "Look at him, look at my boy, putting him down." You know, you can't be. Ooh, love that. Coffin drop, boy. That was good. But if you're on commentary, he still's got to be Team Taz, his manager kind of thing, you know? You know, like Jericho, when he's on commentary, what does he do? He's still the champion. You know? Listen to him. Listen to him, talking like a commentator. He's a commentator, but he's a character also on air as well. Why doesn't he maintain that? Fucking dope.
They don't want to win by disqualification, Taz, because you can't win the title under disqualification, as you know.
Cage lost his temper a little bit. I understand.
Well, on a count out too. They're about to be counted out. This guy.
On the verge of being counted out here. Oh, he's getting it. He's quick athlete, really good athlete. Well, now what?
Well, this match, everything I thought it would be. It really is.
He's still a grown man, man. Those slaps will definitely have an effect on him, you know. He's trying to do. Oh, he's fine. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to do like a stunner off the second rope. He should have slapped. Boom.
Get that belt out of his hand. The legs of Cage all tied up.
What the hell is going on?
Hog tying on his street.
He's trapped like a bear trap. He's punching my man.
Should have pinned him. I don't think he wouldn't be able to kick out, right?
But he's not done. Oh, maybe he is.
Even from his knees, Cage so powerful.
Oh my God.
Watch this shit. Tight.
Well, I would.
Oh, Code Red, Canadian Destroyer, however you want to call it, man. That move. Ever since I seen P.D. Williams do that in TNA. Canadian Destroyer, he called it. It's probably one of the most impressive ways you hit a stunner. No matter how small you are, you hit that drop kick accurately, yeah, any man gonna drop. Double stomp. Here comes his boys. There's Hook. There's Starks. Then of course, we know the man coming in. Finally. Finally. Get physical. Shot to the gut. Could have happened to a better guy. I don't like Ricky Starks.
This match hasn't ended. Sting hasn't entered the ring.
Come on, Brian, finish him off.
But he's even things up here. He really is.
He's providing some backup as Darby Allin on the shoulders of Cage.
But he needed.
Oh, the crucifix bomb. Kick out. Kick out. 3. Wow, damn it. He's still the champ.
There you go. Still the champ.
Still TNT champion.
Well, you can continue to be hold that frivolous, not counting in any promotion championship, the FTW. He can be that. Look at Taz. Taz is in his usual perch. He's the mayor of Head for the Hills up there on the top of the stage. Yeah. I mean, he hit him with a belt. I mean, a bat. You would think that they would have some chairs in their hands or something. Maybe not going to strike him with it, but I don't know. No, I think he would have won. It seems like he would have won if it hadn't been for Starks and Hook and getting involved.
Brian Cage held over Darby Allin, coming to bite him.
JR saying 280 pounds, him, right? God, what's his name? Brian Cage, and then Shivani's like going, or is it Excalibur going, 102-pound weight difference, so he's saying 272. Get the weight right. He had the weigh in. He was 272. He wasn't 280. There they go. The residents and mayor of Head for the Hills on top of the stage. What a great main event, huh? It was a pretty good match. I liked it. But let's get into the recap and thoughts of AEW New Year's Smash Night 2. Started off with Eddie Kingston versus Pac, and Eddie Kingston is pinned by Pac after falling victim to the Black Arrow from Pac himself. Now, Miro makes Chuck Taylor tap to the accolade or whatever he calls the move in AEW, and as per the stipulation, now Chuck is the butler to the best man, Miro. Now, the Inner Circle make their New Year's resolutions known, and the crowd singing Jericho's theme song is still cringy as fuck. Don't care what anyone says. Now, they come out, championships, says Hager. Fat people gotta go, says MJF. Perfecting family recipes, says Ortiz. And Jericho says that this is the year that Jericho and MJF become the tag champs. Now, Santana disagrees, and Sammy sees that Jericho is a tag team slut because he's been tag teaming with Sammy as the Sex Gods with Hager, right? I mean, who is he going to, in the end, want to be his tag team partner? So, I mean, hostility abounds from the Inner Circle. And leader of the Inner Circle, Jericho, puts together a triple threat tag match next week. Tag team match. So that way, whoever wins will be going for tag team titles and will be representing the Inner Circle in the tag team division. So next week we'll be seeing Jericho and MJF versus Santana and Ortiz, and Sammy and Hager. Sammy Hagar. Remember? Sammy Hagar. And Sammy G doesn't get the reference. Sammy Hagar, as you know, was a replacement for David Lee Roth in Van Halen. So Sammy Hagar didn't register with him because I guess he's like that young generation that doesn't know music going 10 years back, it seems. But that's that, and that was an enjoyable segment. I liked it. Now, Dark Order backstage, and they're still looking to recruit Hangman Adam Page into the Order, and he will give them an answer next week. Next week he's teaming with who are those two guys? Silver and what's his partner's name? Sorry, because I really like Inner Circle, but sometimes you know them by their numbers, so sometimes I gotta make sure I remember their names. But Silver and his regular partner, and they're gonna team with Adam Page, and Page give his thing. Dark Order, for what we see, is a babyface team now. Ever since Brody Lee passed on, and Brody Lee was their leader, so he's such a lovable guy. Was Brody? I don't think these guys want to be heels, and if they are, they're going to be fun-loving heels. They're not going to be brutal heels that they were before, but they could. No one knows. Now, Danny Limelight and the Varsity Blondes. They are soundly beaten by the so-called Elite because Don Callis and the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega were like, "Hey, to the Young Bucks," because he was supposed to team with the Young Bucks. He's like, "Hey, you guys hang back here. You guys have your own theme," says Don Callis. Little did we know that he was going to pull a ruse and something out from under them, meaning their entrance, because in comes Gallows, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, and they end up teaming that 6-man tag. And in the end, we see the Good Brothers. They end up hitting the Magic Killer. And they get the victory for the so-called Elite. And then there's some aftermath match shenanigans as Mox and the Lucha Bros take it to the so-called Elite. We even see the Young Bucks come out there. They get super kicked by the Lucha Bros. A lot of hectic stuff, a lot of crazy stuff happening afterwards. What's going to happen? Are the Young Bucks going to address that situation? They kind of came in and they were still kind of being like peacemakers, like they're trying to get to the bottom of it. Next week, I think they got to get a little bit aggressive. They got to get a little bit physical next week. Maybe a super kick for Don Callis. How about that? Now, the waiting room, and I was waiting for it to end. So cringy. So corny. And Cody was the guest, but not the only one, as Jade Cargill comes in, pushes Cody, says that she doesn't care if his wife's pregnant. She's waiting for her opponent that's going to challenge her, I guess. I mean, give her a match. In comes Red Velvet. There's a brawl after, which Jade, after Jade confronted Cody. She's small compared to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's a statuesque Amazon, man. She looks really impressive. I haven't seen her wrestle yet. I think she's been wrestling on Dark, I guess, because it seems to me that she's talking about not having an opponent. We'll see, but and then we see on the little bit TV screen there, and in that beach break, we're going to see. That's where we're going to see beach. Is it beach break? Beach bash? Whatever it is. I think it's beach bash. Yeah, beach break. It's where Thunder Rosa is going to get to beat Britt Baker's ass. There's a little bit of a rivalry and a feud going on between them, and I can't wait to see. Much as I do like Britt Baker, but she's kind of cringy at times, and I think Thunder Rosa will have my undivided attention and me in her corner as they take each other on. Now, Jurassic Express. They came out to Tarzan Boy, an 80s classic that Tony Khan actually recently got the rights to. He bought the rights to that song, and it's cool because I like that song, and it goes really perfect with these guys because sometimes they're you know, what you call it, their entrance music doesn't go along with them. Sometimes it's really distracting, but this thing actually goes, and it's a very familiar tune. I guess maybe it's just because I'm familiar with it. Because when FDR came out, you know, I just didn't wasn't into their theme song. It just seems like their entrance theme doesn't really fit them. You know, I don't know, but it's not bad. But you know, you want to get up and pumped up. You know, you think entrance themes got to get you up. Oh, you know. Now, Jurassic Express, they faced FTR, and there was a time when Marco Stunt, because Marco Stunt, we all know he's a small little guy, and he tagged out. And according to Excalibur, he came in, did Jungle Boy, and the odds the evens up a bit. He odds the evens up a bit. I think he meant he evens the odds up a bit. Now sometimes these guys say things that they're not thinking sometimes, so they get mixed up. But he did, and they pretty much did put together a great match. Marco Stunt, for what he did, for what it's worth, the guy is a scrapper. He does stay in there, and he is a guy who will take the fight to you. But you know, FDR, you know, they hit the big rig. It used to be called in WWE the, what do you call it? What did they used to call it? But I know that they didn't call it the big rig before in AEW or Shatter Machine in WWE. Here they call it the big rig. Wasn't it called something else? Southern Comfort or something like that. I don't know. They're gonna keep changing their thing, the name of it every week. But they pick up the victory. Does FTR, and kind of funny because I guess Tully Blanchard doesn't think of his team as a bad team anymore, because I thought the whole thing was that you need to have the tag team titles to be the best in the world, and he's talking about them being the best in the world. No, they're not. Tully, you said yourself, if they're not the tag team champions, then they're not the best in the world. So hopefully they get their asses in line and head on down that road towards the title, gold again. Now, the NWA Women's World Championship with Tay Conti and the current champ Serena Deeb And Serena Deeb defends her title against Tay Conti. Tay Conti was a goer. She hung in there. Some impressive stuff from her. I was impressed with her in NXT as well when she was there. She was just somebody that they just didn't have nothing for. They had to let her go in April. April last year, right? But she put up a fight, and it's kind of funny because Anna Jay didn't even try to interfere. But I guess it's because, like I said, she's in the world. She's in the Dark Order. I think even Tay Conti is, or technically she is. So they're trying to be a little more face friendly, I guess, because they don't want to be like that evil heel that they used to be. They can't now because Brody is such a lovable, such a loved individual and a loved character and a loved wrestler in person. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be hard for them to become heels again like they used to be. Now the TNT champ Darby Allin and versus Brian Cage, we saw that earlier, and Darby was outweighed and outpowered. But Darby prevailed with Singh making sure to even the odds in the end. Like we saw, he got physical at last. I was happy. Whoa. With the baseball bat strike to Ricky Starks, knocking them off the damn rampway there, right at the stage. Right at the ring. And like I said, boys, Taz are putts. Again, being a commentator and not being the badass Taz manager of Team Taz makes him sound like a fool. Like, he's there, and you're like, come on, dude. Like, stop talking like a commentator. Like, you'll bring out these, those commentator-isms and things that they say. Like I said, when Brian Cage caught Darby Allin doing a suicide dive, or tope suicida like AEW likes to, because they want to be different. He catches him, puts him up in a suplex, and he goes, look at the snap, look at the torque, look at that's your boy, that's your man that you talk up. How about you look at him, man up that little twerp. Look at him slamming him down hard. How about you talk like that instead of trying to talk like a commentator? Because you're not a commentator. You are one, but at that point, you should maintain your thing, because that's what Jericho does. Jericho still maintains, he does commentator stuff, but he still maintains his character as late champion. He'll insult Excalibur, he'll take a jab at at Shivani. He has respect for JR. That's the only time that I hear him be nice is with JR. But yeah, AEW's New Year's Smash, I said Mash, didn't I? AEW's New Year's Smash Night 2 was really good, just as good as last week. It was delayed a week of both events because of their tribute show to Mr. Brody Lee. And there's actually, what was that match that they have for next week? It's for -1, Brody's son, Brody Jr., his birthday. And it's going to be a birthday match for him. I guess maybe he picked the opponents, he picked those wrestlers again. I forget what it was. I don't know if it's a tag team or a fatal four. I think it was a tag team. But that's going to be fun. That's going to be something. They're really taking care of this kid and really taking care of Amanda, the widow of Brody Lee, and I love that. That's great. That's great to see. And I don't mind it. There's going to be some people out there, I know, they're going to go, enough already with celebrating his life. He's gone already. We should move on. No, you don't need to move on. As long as his son is involved now. His son is signed. You're gonna keep hearing his name, Brody Lee. And why not? John Huber. You're gonna keep hearing his name because he was signed to them. He was still a signed talent to AEW. So why not? But anyway, that's my video. And for those of you who stopped by, checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.